Hello everyone. Today's video we'll be going over Black Templars and why they're tied for my favorite Space Marine chapter against the Blood Angels. But it's more about the Black Templars. Now, as a preface, like my Blood Angels video, I've not read any novels that relate to or heavily involve the Black Templars. I've not I've not read any books or articles about the Battle of Hell's Reach, or the Battle of, I believe it was the Armageddon, or the Black. Like, I've not seen or read much of anything that heavily pertains to the Black Templars firsthand. A lot of my information and knowledge comes from memes and other secondhand sources, whether it be other content creators or other paraphrased or quoted lines from stories or characters that deal with the Black Templars. So I do apologize about that in advance. With the Black Templars, what about them do I like? Number one, their aesthetic. The crusading knight aesthetic, plus their color and heraldry being black and white with, red cloth and accents and righteous crusader vibes. It looks sick, man. Like, you can't tell me that they don't look cool. Especially their models. When you look at some of their models, they look their particular models, like, they are really good looking for Space Marine models. Other than Black Templars being very zealous, very fervent believers of the Cult Imperium and the Emperor and all that, they, as far as I am aware, are considered one of the good chapters. Right, that's with heavy air quotes. Thirdly, and on top of that, with how they're, from what I know of how they're depicted in books, they're not just a scream at enemy and try to run them down with swords kind of army. They actually do think pragmatically about their tactics, how they're going to approach an engagement, not just pick up power sword, scream at an orc, and run it down, right? Sure, some of them may do that. There may be plenty of instances where a Black Templar will end up doing that. That does not mean that they as an army, right, they as a faction are only good at doing that. But looping back around to models, and talking about models for the Black Templars, the Emperor's Champion is, like, by far my favorite model from the Black Templars. He looks super cool, and he's like the one named character unit where it's a title, not a name, right? The Emperor's Champion is a title, not a end all be all name that only one person ever can have. No, like, there are plenty of Emperor's Champions. So if you want to make your if you want to have a Black Templars army and it be your guys, they can be your guys, and it doesn't matter if the Emperor's Champion is the only named character you have. He's also, from what I can tell, since I have not personally used him in an army or in a game, on Tabletop Simulator or in person, but he looks really strong. Maybe not as strong as, like, High Marshal Helbrecht or Chaplain Grimaldus, but definitely he himself is also strong. Moving over into the rest of the Black Templar units, overall, as I said before, how they looks really good. I really enjoy it. I really am a fan of their appearances. Sword Brethren are basically just cooler looking Blade Guard veterans. Crusader squads, in my opinion, look kind of bad, but that's mainly on a personal basis of I don't like how Space Marine scouts look, and the neophytes of a Crusader squad are basically just Space Marine scouts. And to that end, I also am not a fan of just, like, how their status sheets and profiles work. Castellans look good, but they do look goofy to a degree because of their more classic retro old hammer design on the actual physical model. Marshals, the Black Templar exclusive captains or their captain equivalents, look sick as hell. Like, if I had to pick a model to be, like, used as just my captains for an army, it doesn't matter if it's Blood Angels, Black Templars, or whatever have you, Marshal would be that, because they look sick as hell, dude. Especially if you have them using their helmet head, which is a great helm. It looks very, very nice. And then about the new models, which is the Black Templar Ancient. It looks great, right? That is a very good looking model, very knightly, very Crusader esque. It's also pretty busy. Like if there's one gripe and complaint I could make about the Black Templar units, it's that from what I've seen of all of them or most of them, they are pretty busy models. Maybe not as busy like as like a Chaos Space Marine model, but they definitely look to be close to that from the models I've seen. Now, why didn't I start with Black Templars and why did I start with Ultramarines? Now, similarly to what I said in my Blood Angels video, I didn't start with Black Templars because I did not want to start with an army that leaned more in one direction than the other. I wanted to start with an army that was balanced, that could approach melee and shooting evenly, and kind of figure out, hey, what aspect of the game when playing tabletop 40k do I like? Since then, I've found that I like melee, more aggressive armies. I know Black Templars and Blood Angels, even Space Wolves, can be played as such in melee and shooting, so there goes that. Second reason, this is like the really big reason, I didn't start with Black Templars because I don't like Crusader squads. I just think that they look bad. Like, Neophytes look bad, in my opinion, and I'm not a big fan of the different stat profiles. As in, Neophytes have a slightly different profile to the Sword Brother and Initiate, or Initiates. Even if it is like a minor difference of like one wound, it's still a difference. I think there's also a difference in like base size between the Neophytes and the Initiate and Sword Brother. So at the time in the beginning, it just seemed like, hey, that was a lot to kind of take in and work out. On top of the fact that their war gear options were also confusing for me at the time for similar reasons as to what I said about the Death Company in my Blood Angels video. It just seemed in the beginning there was too much to kind of look at and be like, okay, how does this all like work and fit together? And when I could have just used like Assault Intercessors instead as a melee battle line unit instead of Primaris Crusader squads. And to that point, like since then I've learned how to properly determine war gear options for units thanks to my experience of Chaos Space Marines and the Voton. So it's now not an issue, but at the time when getting into learning 40k and choosing Space Marines of whatever color to learn, that was the big reason why I didn't start Black Templars, was their main exclusive battle line unit being Crusader squads. Just seemed a little like complicated and not entirely intuitive to like get together and make work. Now, will I play the Black Templars now? Right? Given everything I've said, given everything I've experienced in my time since learning how to play 40k, will I at least try a Black Templar army? And the answer is yes. Similar to what I said in my Blood Angels video, knowing that I prefer a more aggressive and melee-leaning army now, I definitely will be at least trying a Black Templar army, especially when they get their Codex supplement and their new Ancient model gets its data sheet. I definitely want to try learning how to play them properly. Still not a fan of Oath of Moment, so in terms of core army rules, I'm not going to very much enjoy it. That is similar to what I said in my Blood Angels video. I don't like Oath of Moment. I don't like how reliant Space Marines are on it to do much of anything, at least not, if not much of anything, just in general. And I'm unsure if for a Black Templar army, if I want to go whole hog and decide to have Righteous Crusaders be the detachment I try, but it would only make sense to use that or Wrathful Procession. But I think for the sake of simplicity, Righteous Crusaders would be the detachment I try for Black Templars. Alright, but with that, everyone, that'll be the end of the video. Thank you all for watching and listening. Feel free to comment down below what your thoughts are on the Black Templars. Hey, are they your favorite chapter? And I'm not gonna just leave it to only Black Templars. Feel free to let me know what any chapter is your favorite. Doesn't have to even be Loyalist. It could be Chaos Warband or Legion. But with that, guys, that'll be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Wherever you may find yourself, I hope you're having a great time. Doesn't matter if it's on the tabletop. Doesn't matter if it's you're gaming or you're browsing YouTube. Hope you guys are having a great time. And if you're not, hope it turns around. Feel free to comment down below. Let me know if you like this content. Let me know if you'd like to see more of it. Feel free to like and subscribe. That goes a long way to help tell me that you guys are interested in this kind of content, and it helps get more eyes on it. Very much appreciate it. But until next time, guys, see you guys next time. And this is number 2 in a group of videos I'm working on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Number 3 will be out there soon. So take care. Have a good one. Peace.
Your miserable life ends in disgrace. Swapping magazine. Magazine empty. Frag grenade out. Primitive tactics of changing magazine.
Restock and reload. The enemy will return soon enough.
We will be prepared for the enemy's next attack. For the Emperor! Found grenade stockpile. Scar from an Eldar. Maintaining ammunition supplies. Picking up extra rounds. Medical supplies over here.
Brothers, your targets have arrived.
We will purge this place of enemies.
The fortress's machine spirit is dormant. Reawaken it.
This disruption will be resolved momentarily. Spare not a single warp feed rich. The cursed champion of chaos falls. Combatant tongue. Orders. Champion of
Machine spirit reawakened. Fortress systems back online.
Sangor spear carrier in sight. Stim injection administered. Changing magazine. brother dies. They sent dust to do a warrior's work. Specs deep scan ready. Aim for the left. Carrying more sticks. Dispensing stems. All specs engaged. Servants defeated. Fresh magazine in.
Ready to move. There will be more foes to vanquish soon. For now, reload.
No foe can stand against our combined might. Fill up on stims. A story by steel upon which the enemy dies. All specs ready to scan.
Brothers, stand ready.
The Imperium stands strong. Changing magazine. All specs tractor scarab occult terminated. Reload. Administering self-aid.
Scanners detect enemy reinforcements. Prepare for a challenging fight.
There is no threat we are not ready for. Full specs, bring down that heretical monstrosity!